Are you ready for this? ROCHobby has just dropped another amazing RC model. It's the Magnum 1/18 scale off-road vintage truck. And in this video, we're gonna take a closer look at this body. I'll tell you some details about the chassis, and I'll take it outside for a little driving fun. I've pulled the 18 scale Magnum from its styrofoam packaging. Comes out of the box just like this, even has a protective film over the windshield so it doesn't get scratched. It's ready to run, so it comes with a 2.4 gigahertz transmitter, USB charger, box wrench, an instruction manual, and a battery pack for the truck. You're just gonna have to supply some AAAs for the radio to get it going. Of course, charge the battery pack. But look at this beautiful cobalt green color. Let me know which color you think it is in the comment section below. Love the chrome grille on the front of this. It's obviously a Ford F1 truck. They don't have the licensing on this one. That's why it's under the ROCHobby brand. But we know what it is. It's an early Ford, and it just has some really nice lines on it. I love the way they mold their bodies with the detail, such as the curves on the fender, the hood, the roll of the roof, even the rear fenders, the roll on the tailgate. Love it. Lots of chrome on this one. Chrome front bumper, the grille, the vents in the hood, and on the side of the hood, chrome mirrors, and then out back, chrome taillights and bumper. The green you see on here is paint. You could tell by when you pop up the hood here, you could just see the overspray underneath it. ROCHobby does an amazing job with their paint. I mean, I don't see any flaws anywhere on this. Like the black step sides, there is a full interior in here. Well, it's got seats and steering wheel, dashboard. But the one thing I noticed is the doors don't open on this one. It's just part of the cab on this. The tailgate, however, does fold down. You kind of have to push out on the sides of the bed to release the tailgate. Once you do, it folds down. They have their little metal hinges in there. But if you want to go throw some rocks in the back and or maybe some wood, drive around, make some scale videos, you have that option. Now, with the wheels on this, makes me think it's kind of a restoration job, since they do have a teal wheel with a white ring around it. It does have some off-road tires. Let's go over the chassis really quick. Aluminum frame rails, 4-link suspension front and rear, just have the friction dampers, so it is quite bouncy. The driveline on this, again, similar to what we've seen before from ROCHobby vehicles. Transmission in the center, slider drive shafts down to the front and rear axles, full ball bearings in this, CV style drive shafts out to the wheels, servos mounted up front, just like your scale crawler, everything that we've seen before. Under the hood, you'll find the receiver speed controller unit. That's where you turn it on and off. There's a little button towards the back here, and the battery sits in the cradle right in front of the dashboard. I forgot to mention, it does have LED lights. It is controlled with the radio. While I'm showing you the radio system, it actually has 2 different modes for the throttle. So it has a high speed mode and then a climbing mode. And you hit this channel 5 button and it changes the speed. So you can go climbing with it or just cruise around. And speaking of cruising around, why don't I show you the action footage, because this thing looks great on a trail. Without a doubt, ROCHobby has once again created an amazing looking scale truck. I'll have links in the video description below. It definitely gives us the feel of a Ford F1, although it's not licensed. That would have just set it over the top. But it looks great. It's gonna be an awesome display truck, and of course you could take it out and drive it as well, which I did. I did some driving around the outside of a crawling course because it's really not a crawler. It can't climb up rocks that well unless you have just some low stuff to kind of maneuver over. But any hilly type of stuff, it's not going to do that, and you wouldn't do that with the real thing either. I tried crawling up a couple rocks, just didn't happen, didn't have the weight, didn't have the traction, but just driving around, it looked very cool. It's not super fast, it's actually very slow, and then in the climb mode, it is super slow, which actually does allow it to go up a incline pretty well. Not a ton of steering on this either. The steering radius is pretty wide on it, but this is kind of one of those trucks you just want to cruise around with or turn it into a project build. Let me know what you would do with it in the comments section below. For me, it's mostly going to be a display truck sitting there with some of my other FMS and ROCHobby models.